Welcome back to the So Far So Good podcast. I'm Gaurav Khazanchi, and in front of me we have
Christopher Coombs. Thank you guys once again for tuning in on this lovely day. I'm sure it's a lovely day where you are.
Yeah, regardless.
Every day is a lovely day.
Listening to the So Far So Good podcast makes it better.
That could not be more true.
Absolutely. Now, like the tradition we established not too long ago, I have a question for you.
I like that. I like answering questions.
Yeah, exactly. So last episode we were talking about, being in the cinema, people in the cinema.
Yeah.
And since then, obviously, I've been to the movies again.
Yeah.
And I thought, what do you think about people clapping in the cinema?
It's I feel like it's something that doesn't come up as often anymore.
It definitely doesn't happen that often.
Exactly. But I would say I think it's stupid. Look, the reason is, I totally get people want to clap because they're like, oh, it was a great movie.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be at the end, because sometimes people clap like, oh, yeah, like that bit in the movie.
Yeah, well, they clap when it's funny or something like that.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. But clapping at the end of the movie is kind of like saying, good job on making the movie. But the people that made the movie obviously cannot hear this and will not know that you've done it.
Well, actually, while being at uni and we had to go to some professionals to do some professional stuff for the project we did, the guy was telling us stories about how he worked on professional films and stuff. And obviously he goes to the movies and watches it.
Yep.
And he was telling me how he was really happy that they credited him for being like the colorist of the movie or something.
Yep.
So imagine that guy was in the cinema at the time when everyone's clapping. He would have been like, damn right, I was part of this.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know what? I feel like
it's a very low chance that would happen.
It's a low chance, but look, I don't hate people for clapping. Like, if you like the movie, I don't mind if you're showing your appreciation. But
right.
I don't personally clap movies.
Yeah.
But I don't care if you're going to clap.
Neither do I. But I do enjoy them.
I do. I also enjoy the So Far So Good podcast. So
let's get into it.
So far, so good.
So today we've got some super topical things.
It's not topical at all. He just loves to hear this good sound effect. Here we go. What a good start to the episode.
Hey, great talk.
But in all seriousness, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And if it is your first time tuning into the So Far So Good podcast, we talk about relatable nonsense that anyone can relate to and enjoy in an entertaining and light-hearted way, essentially.
Absolutely. So bring your family, bring your friends, and listen to the So Far So Good podcast.
And let's get into today's episode where we want to talk about some celebrity couples.
Yeah, so Chris just popped the question to me, not asking for marriage, but, he said, what's actually your favorite celebrity couple? And then I had a good think about it, and we thought we'd discuss it on today's episode.
Exactly. So I couldn't think of one that I particularly liked over others. So it's in no particular order. But I've got two. Gaurav's got two. We want to give a bit of information to each other.
Exactly.
And you guys listening.
And
so for souls.
He always messes it up. It's soft souls. It's
soft
so easy.
Souls. Okay, so like soft souls.
So the first SO is so, the F is far, the other SO is the other so, and the L is listeners.
Soft souls.
Oh my god, I just explained it.
Alright, to our soft souls.
Soft souls, there's no T. Alright, here we go.
So we're going to kick it off with the first celebrity couple, which is LeBron James and Savannah James.
So for those of you who don't know, Chris is a huge basketball fan.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm a huge Toronto fan. Toronto Raptors, that is.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, they were actually high school sweethearts.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually know nothing about this couple.
And they've stayed together to this day.
So how long is that now?
Well, basically, I believe LeBron is about 34.
Okay.
Yeah, so LeBron and Savannah both grew up in Akron, Ohio.
Alrighty.
All right, and they actually attended rival high schools.
Whoa.
So they didn't actually go to the same school. They went to schools that compete against each other.
But they were like a couple before they went to... Oh, this is high school or college?
No, this is high school.
Okay.
So they went to rival high schools,
Okay.
right? So LeBron was a sports prodigy. He excelled in basketball and football.
Really?
Yeah, obviously ended up putting it all towards basketball side of it.
Yeah.
And Savannah was a cheerleader and softball player.
Okay.
Now, the craziest thing about this is they actually met at a football game.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what? Like one that LeBron is playing?
nah, he wasn't playing in the game. They were both like spectators, and they just met each other at the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And it was at this point where he asked her to go to a basketball game together.
Okay. Wait.
To
So
go watch a game together.
they just met and they hit it off, and
Yeah.
presumably that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And she had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
At all. She literally said in a quote to a magazine, she said, "I had no idea who he was."
Yeah.
Yeah. And she later actually joked about it, and she was like, "Oh, he met me. I didn't meet him."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then when they went to this basketball game, she thought, wow, this guy's like pretty popular.
Yeah.
She noticed like everyone was talking to him and knew who he was and all that stuff.
And this is like still high school basketball.
Yeah, and that's because he was, even in high school, he was like crazy prodigy. Like
And
everyone knew he was going to be like crazy big and everything.
Yeah, there's a pretty big high school basketball following in America, isn't there?
Huge.
Yeah,
It's huge. It's like a full following, a full league and everything. It's crazy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then basically they went for their first date at Outback Steakhouse.
I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat steak.
Now, Savannah actually left her leftovers in LeBron's car, and then LeBron returned it to her. And she
sneaky.
also said in a magazine that she reckons he just wanted another excuse to, see her.
That's a smooth move.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
As smooth as that gravy on top of that steak.
Exactly. At Outback Steakhouse. But she kind of never imagined that they would end up being like high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And she also never thought that she would get with the tallest guy in the school.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which apparently he was at the time.
Yeah. All basketball players are tall. So
yeah. He's pretty tall. But she also never thought he'd become the king of the NBA. She actually said that she thought he'd be like, a hometown hero for a while.
Yeah.
And then, it would kind of be over and they would kind of go on their lives from there.
So she pretty much just had no faith.
Well, I'm sure she joked about that.
Yeah.
But through basically all of that. Now, LeBron actually went straight to the NBA after high school. So there was
Straight up.
Yeah, there was no college. The rules are now changed where you actually need to be 1 year out of high school before you can go to the NBA.
Oh, really?
But back then, he was able to do so. So there was no college or anything like that. But all through, the rest of high school together and then through his NBA career, they've always stuck together. And it was actually unclear whether LeBron would make his senior prom due to his growing career throughout high school. But he made it. He rocked up to prom.
What a pro.
Her. Yeah.
What a pro.
He was absolutely such a beast even in high school. That imagine being that high up to think that, he won't come to prom. He's above that. But that's why I respect him so much. He's not that kind of guy.
He's pretty down to earth, you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's a pretty good guy in that sense.
Yeah, pretty cute love story.
Yeah. Now in 2011, he got down on one knee. Something that I haven't done to you just yet. So he got down on one knee and proposed, and then in 2013 they got married.
Okay. That's
now they
cute.
had a crazy lavish wedding.
Okay.
It actually included a performance of "Crazy in Love" by Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Really?
At their wedding.
Yeah.
How nuts is that?
Well, when you're that high up, you have friends that are that high up too. So
yeah,
you presume they're all best buds.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, now they basically have 3 children together.
Yeah.
They have LeBron Jr.,
Really?
Bryce Maximus, and Zuri. I think it's pronounced Zuri.
Zuri?
Zhuri.
Yeah.
So I would say so. But yeah, LeBron Jr. is actually upcoming high school player as well. So
yeah, is he like widely recognized?
he is obviously he's well known because of LeBron Senior.
Yeah.
But it's it's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, he's got all that pressure.
Yeah, people are going to compare you and all this stuff.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think he'll make the NBA and he'll have a decent career.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? We'll see how we go.
Yep.
So far, so good. Either way.
Exactly.
So in their home life as a family, LeBron says that Savannah is the boss of the house.
Okay.
The reason for that, LeBron says himself that, he's not home a lot. He's always out, on the road for basketball, obviously.
Yeah.
He also does a lot of stuff in the entertainment industry, so
Yeah.
he's not home a whole lot.
He's got to come to the episodes of Teen Titans Go.
Exactly. And he says that she's the rule setter.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for him to go on the road for 2.5 weeks playing all these games and then come back and say to the kids, "Oh, this is how things are going to be done."
Yeah.
It's not fair.
No,
and I respect
enough.
him for that.
I respect that.
Because she's the one that's, at home looking after the kids,
Yeah.
sorting things out. So, she should make the rules.
Yeah, good on her.
So she's the boss of the household, which is quite a cute little love story.
Yeah.
I like. Now, a huge achievement that they kind of did as a couple. So LeBron actually opened the I Promise School in 2018.
Yeah.
Which is a school for underprivileged kids, basically,
Oh,
throughout
wow,
Akron,
yeah,
which
good.
is awesome.
That's so good.
And Savannah founded the I Promise Makeover, which was an event for underprivileged teens, with prom dresses and all things like that, which is awesome. And the LeBron James family actually has a foundation where they've donated around 41 million to go towards scholarship money for university for basically Akron students.
Yeah.
The thing is, even though he's done so much and she's been a part of this whole process, they really love their hometown of Akron and give heaps back to that community, which is awesome.
That's so good. Giving back, man. It's a dream in the end, really.
Yeah. So they pretty much put Akron on the map.
Yeah.
And they're providing back, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's so good. I've never heard of that place until you've just told me to now. So, yeah.
Classic.
But look, I'm also not that knowledgeable in my geography, as previously mentioned in other episodes.
Well, it's in Cleveland, which he's played for.
He's played for Cleveland,
years,
before, He must have been happy playing for that team then. Who's he for now?
So, real quickly, he started his career in Cleveland.
Yep.
He moved over to Miami, won a couple of championships, came back to Cleveland, won a championship for Cleveland, and now he's moved on to play for Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep.
Reason for that, I think, is more of a lifestyle thing,
Mm-hmm.
because he's got a lot of entertainment business ideas and things happening. So
Teen Titans Go and whatnot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a
all
solid
that
couple.
stuff.
I can see why you like them, mainly because of basketball, and it's a good story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
So my first favorite couple, when I think of a celebrity couple, I think of these guys, usually in no particular order, but I'm a big fan of these two. Otherwise, I don't really care. But I like these two a lot, even as individuals. So I'm talking, of course, about Emily Blunt and John Krasinski.
Of course you are. Who else would you be talking about?
So Emily Blunt, I've always been a fan of. Okay, so she's an actress. She's been in things like The 5-Year Engagement, Looper, The Devil Wears Prada, The Edge of Tomorrow, more recently Sicario, The Girl on the Train, A Quiet Place, and Mary Poppins Returns, which is like the sequel/remake to Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen. I don't really want to see it.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm sure she does great.
Exactly. And John Krasinski, probably most popularly known for his role as Jim in The Office.
Yeah.
One of the main characters. Have you seen The Office?
I've seen a few episodes. Not the full thing.
I actually love it. I haven't seen the full thing, but I've started to watch it properly very recently.
Yeah, it is super popular.
It's hilarious. He also is Jack Ryan in the show, which is based off Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. So he plays Jack Ryan. He plays Secretariat, which is a small character in a cartoon called BoJack Horseman. Love that show as well. Actually, it's something you would like. You should check it out.
Never heard of it.
And he's also in A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
So that's the two of them, just sort of in a nutshell, what they've been in, and they're quite well known, very popular. Emily Blunt is she's from the UK. I'm pretty sure she's British.
Yep.
And yes, so they actually met. They were actually very happy being single, but they were both in LA at the same time in 2008, and a mutual friend introduced. But I was going to call him Jim. A mutual friend introduced John to Emily at some restaurant in LA. And they pretty much both kind of say it was essentially like love at first sight.
Wow.
So, actually, fun fact, John Krasinski watched Devil Wears Prada about 75 times in his life. Like, he was actually in love with Emily Blunt in that movie.
Really?
Like, just really liked her in the thing. So she kind of married her stalker.
Wow.
It was so pretty cute. But, you know, he wasn't really a stalker.
Yeah.
It's a cute little thing.
Yeah.
Actually, a very cute couple overall. They do a lot of romantic things. But anyway, so they met in 2008, and it was sort of an instant connection. So John sort of opened up in on the Ellen Show one time.
Oh, yeah.
Just talking about how they met and all of that. They've both been on the Ellen Show, and they both sort of talk about their relationship, and it's very adorable. Their first date was actually at a gun range.
Wow.
Yeah, so they went to a
bit different to Outback Steakhouse,
yeah,
eh?
Exactly. So they went to a gun range, which must have been one of those super exciting dates, and they got engaged a year later in 2009.
Wow.
So together for a year
later, they got engaged.
Later. Exactly. That's
pretty love at first sight.
Pretty love at first sight. And then they were married in 2010, and they sort of had a very kind of like a private-ish wedding at one of George Clooney's his properties, George Clooney's properties in Italy. So
wow.
Yeah, they had a lot of their famous friends there, but
they probably know George Clooney.
Probably,
I
wouldn't be surprised
so
at
they
all.
probably just said, "Yo, George, can we just use the
George? I'm coming.
Use the property in Italy.
Coming to get married." In 2014, they had their first child, their daughter Hazel, and in 2016, they had their second child, another daughter, Violet. So they're a family of 4.
Yeah.
So they actually starred in A Quiet Place together.
I was actually waiting for you to bring this up.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that, I didn't really know that much about them, but I didn't realize they were together for that long before the movie.
Yeah. So they were
together, what?
So that movie came out in... well, they met about 7 or 8 years before that. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And John Krasinski actually wrote and directed that movie. So... And
really?
Yeah, he wrote and directed A Quiet Place.
Wow.
And he played one of the main characters.
And his wife played the other main character.
Exactly. It's not their daughter in the movies.
I actually did not know that. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. And it's actually one of my favourite thrillers, that movie. I'll get back to that. But Emily Blunt says that experience just made their relationship stronger. And it was, a great experience for them both.
Wow.
So it's like a fairy tale story and couple, don't you think?
Yeah. It really is.
So I just want to get back to A Quiet Place. It's kind of going off track, but very successful movie. There's actually number 2 coming out, which I didn't expect. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I know you may be happy about that.
I'm pretty happy about that.
When I talked to you about A Quiet Place after it came out, I remember you saying, "Look, it ended a bit abruptly. I hope there's a number 2." And I said, "Nah, surely no number 2."
I knew there was going to be number 2.
No,
I told all of you.
I don't think they should have been number 2. Like, I'm
Whether
happy there is one.
Whether they should or not, I thought after that ending there has to be.
No, well, not necessarily. It's sort of an open ending, and the rest is for your assumption.
Yeah, but it was kind of too open.
You
don't really know what's going to happen.
Look, we can agree to disagree on that.
Okay, so when's the new one planning to be out?
It's in pre-production at the moment, so look, it'll probably be 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, probably more like 2 years, I would have thought.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
So
but look,
has he also written and going to direct this one too?
I haven't looked into that, but it'll star them both again.
Would presume so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd presume so.
That's a huge role for such a big movie.
Yeah, writing and directing.
And, have your wife as the co-star.
What? That would be such a cool experience.
Got kids at home and...
Yeah.
Man, that would be... crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy workload.
Maybe
you'd live and breathe the movie, wouldn't you?
You really would.
You really would.
But I guess that would make it a better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's still in my top thrillers of that year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the next one I want to talk about, again, not in any particular order, but I do really like this couple.
Okay.
And it is Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit mad at Jay-Z.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
You don't even know why I'm mad. But look, if it comes up...
Do you want to tell me why?
No. If it comes up, in your story, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I am going to do like a bit of a timeline
Okay.
from, when they met until now.
Okay.
And then at the point in time where you're mad, you can bring it
I'll
up.
bring it up. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll just tell you now. So there's a lot of Jay-Z songs I like, and I have a Spotify subscription, and I can't listen to a lot of his music because he's not all on Spotify, because he owns sort of the rival app called Tidal, like a tidal wave.
Yeah, that is so true.
So I'm assuming the rest of his music is on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many songs of his that you just want to listen to, but you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Spotify is such a widely used thing.
Yeah.
Most people listening right now are probably listening on Spotify.
Exactly.
Seriously,
right.
it's such a wide... I get why he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he is a very smart businessman.
Yeah.
But I guess, you win some, you lose some.
Exactly. It is what it is.
Exactly. So let's start off with Beyonce and Jay-Z. So it's believed that it was either 1999 or 2000.
Okay.
We can't be too sure of when they exactly first met, but it was around that period.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce was 18 and Jay-Z was 30.
Whoa!
So there's a bit of an age difference.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
They
there's a bit
both
of an
look
age
fairly
difference.
young.
Yeah, they do actually. Then in 2001, they were on the cover of Vanity Fair magazine.
Okay.
And that was basically when they tried to sort of start dating.
Yeah.
It was during the shoot of this this cover for Vanity Fair,
Okay, yeah.
which is a pretty well-known magazine.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that they were on the cover, it was a big thing back then.
Yeah, it's already a big...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then in 2002, they did a duet together for a song called 03 Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah. So in the video clip, they played boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yep.
And it was at that point where people really started to sort of question them, are you guys dating? What's going on?
I saw the
This and that.
chemistry and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very chemistry-like.
Sound effect.
Now, in 2003, they were seen together at a lot of public events.
Okay.
But 2004 was when they first had their appearance as a couple, and that was at the VMAs in 2004.
Video Music Awards.
Exactly right.
Damn right.
2004. Moving along to 2006, Jay-Z featured on 2 of Beyonce's songs in her album B-Day.
Yep.
And also in 2006, Jay-Z poured his heart out on a song called Lost One.
Yep.
Now, this was alluding essentially to the fact that Beyonce was sort of too busy with work, and people started sort of questioning whether they were like splitting up or So
okay.
people were really starting to question their relationship at that point.
Yeah.
But fast forward 2 years to 2008, and they got married. Just like that. I feel like in show business and like people that are famous, it just seems like things move quicker for them.
Yeah, well, it's life in the fast lane, so... If
That
things
is
are-
so true. That is so true.
So, yeah, it would all be relative, I'd say.
I like that. Well, yeah, so in their fast lane, they did get married. Now, it was a low-key sort of ceremony in New York. No photos or footage were ever released from the actual wedding itself until recently on their On the Run tour.
Yeah.
That was when it was first like sort of publicly shown things from their wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, because before, I don't know, they seemed like they wanted to keep it low-key.
Yeah, probably.
They already were very famous.
Yeah.
So they probably wanted this to be more a intimate kind of thing.
Yeah, private affair.
Then also in 2008, Beyonce publicly opened up about her and Jay-Z's love together.
Yeah.
Being true and pure. And at the time, apparently that's not something that she did very often. I think she really talked about work and the music and things like that. So she really opened up about that.
Yeah.
And she also addressed the fact that they never wear rings.
Okay.
Because they see it as like a materialistic thing, and they'd rather their love being, internal between the two of them. Which is
very
pretty
symbolic.
Yeah, pretty symbolic. But
Very
at the
deep.
same time, they're famous and everyone knows they're married. So they don't really need to wear rings, right? Then in 2010, Beyonce sadly had a miscarriage.
Oh,
Yeah, she spoke about it 2 years later in a documentary, Life is But a Dream.
Yep.
opened up about it as well. So I think this is the point where she really starts to open up about her personal life.
Yeah.
You know, as a family with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Rather than just focusing solely on her music, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the fans are so invested in, like, you know,
Exactly.
their lives. So.
And I swear sometimes fans are more invested in their personal life than their music career or their work life.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think it's good. And then a year later, 2011, she announced publicly that she was pregnant, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously 2012, they had Blue Ivy, which was their first baby girl.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm laughing. Chris was saying this before. He called her Blue Icy.
It was a typo and a mispronounce. I said Blue Icy, but it's actually Blue Ivy.
It's Blue Ivy. We all knew.
Their first child, baby girl, Blue Ivy, just to get the record straight.
Yeah.
Then moving on to 2011, Beyonce dropped a surprise album called Beyonce, which shocked the world.
Oh, that's pretty shocking.
Shocked the world.
Yeah.
Because she is such a hard worker.
Yeah.
No matter what, she'll get things done.
Yeah.
People like that always pretend that their back is against the wall.
Oh,
that's how they get things done.
He's getting back to this silly philosophy.
It's a great philosophy, and that's one Beyonce lives by.
Okay. Or so you say.
But it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
She got a newborn, and she just surprise drops an album.
Yeah.
So the fans were going nuts.
Okay.
Absolutely nuts. Then a year later, 2014, they announced their first collaboration with the On the Run tour.
Yep.
Which was Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that was when they first showed, you know, photos and footage from their wedding, which is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Now, just after actually announcing this collaboration tour, was when the issue happened between Jay-Z and Solange.
Her sister?
Which was, Beyonce's sister. So, in a nutshell, she attacked Jay-Z in an elevator.
Yeah, I remember the whole story going around.
Yeah, so it was a very topical thing. Very quite topical. But they've since repaired that, you know, damage. Jay-Z publicly, you know, said they've never had any altercations before.
Yeah.
But, you know, they repaired it and it was all sorted.
Yeah.
And
These things happen, man.
Yeah. And then after that happened, they started the On the Run tour, which was Jay-Z and Beyonce special. So they had that tour, great success as well. 2 years later, 2016, Beyonce dropped the song Lemonade, which was known to be fueled by Jay-Z's infidelity.
Okay.
And she also made songs such as Hold Up, Sorry, and Love Drought.
Okay.
Which all essentially publicly confirmed Jay-Z's unfaithfulness.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, that got known to the world.
Yeah.
Was public and all that stuff. And then, just on the timeline, a year later, 2017, Beyonce announces she's pregnant with twins.
Yeah.
So,
I remember the whole announcement.
I'm telling you, things move
quickly.
I set you up for your saying right there.
Okay, look, you put me on the spot, man.
When people are famous, they just
move fast.
Oh my god. Man, I'm telling you, when people are famous, they
live in the fast lane.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And then obviously later in 2017, the twins were born, and there was a photo of Beyonce and the twins, which she posted on Instagram, which currently has more than 10 million likes.
Oh my god.
That's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so many fans.
Yeah. And then right at the end of 2017, Jay-Z publicly admitted to, you know, his cheating on Beyonce.
Okay.
So I think the point of this is that he wanted to set the record straight.
Yeah.
There was obviously a lot of controversy going on.
Yeah, it's a pretty controversial topic, yeah.
But yeah, I think they both kind of wanted to set the record straight, and he did that towards the end of 2017.
Yeah.
And then 2018, they both announced the On the Run 2 tour.
Oh, the sequel.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Exactly right. And also in 2018, they dropped their first album together, I'm not sure if they dropped it in 2018, but they dropped their first album together, and they won the Brit Award in 2019.
Yeah, I remember when the album came out. It went pretty viral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this couple. Obviously, some things have happened between them.
Yeah.
But obviously, lots of good things.
Yeah.
Because they publicly spoke about how true their love is for each other and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, things happen. And no matter what's happened, they've sort of stuck by each other. Still been able to raise a nice family.
They're still human
together.
beings,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I see them a lot at NBA basketball games. Yeah, you can see them sitting courtside with each other. They actually love date night where they actually go to NBA games together.
Really?
Sit courtside and watch the NBA. So
quick pause. What does courtside mean?
Courtside seats.
Is that
they're literally they're basically like sitting on the court.
Okay, yeah. I thought it meant
not on the actual court, but they're sitting on the level of the court, just obviously behind the boundary line.
Front row seats. I call that front row.
Yeah, but it's courtside as opposed to front row because it's actually the seat is on
the side of the court.
Yeah, it's basically
it really speaks for itself. I should have figured that out.
Yeah. So yeah, they do that for date night, which is pretty awesome.
That's very cute, and that's very expensive.
I mean, they can afford it. Let's be honest.
That's true, right? Come on. Now, this other couple I really like. They are celebrities, but they are a different kind of celebrity.
Okay.
Barack and Michelle Obama.
Ah, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
I'll tell you why I like Barack Obama. He's just funny.
Yeah.
He's just a funny guy.
He's an absolute legend.
He's a legend. He does mic drops. He makes jokes.
Yeah. Actually, I remember the funniest thing I saw of him was a video where there's a few people walking up to shake his hand.
Yeah.
So Kevin Durant, famous NBA player, walks up to shake his hand. And he goes in for the shake and the hug and the and then he walks off, and then some white guy walks up and it's just shake, nod the head, next. So funny.
Well, when you're a true fan, man, that's what happens.
So funny, yeah.
Okay, so Michelle and Barack Obama met in about 1989.
Wow.
Michelle was actually assigned as Barack's mentor at the law firm.
Okay.
That he went to. At the time, Barack was 28 and Michelle was 25, so they were very young. They got set together because they both went to Harvard, so the company was pretty much like, okay, you guys both went to Harvard. Michelle, you can sort of mentor Barack. Yeah. And that's how they met. And Barack didn't waste any time. About a month in, he asked her out on a date.
Damn.
So he didn't waste any time. Michelle says, I quote, "He showed all the sides. He was hip, cutting edge, cultural, and sensitive."
Damn.
And a couple of years later, in 1991, they got engaged. Yeah.
Couple of years later.
So
things move super fast in that lane, man.
I don't know, it's sort of in a different lane, but 2 years is a fair amount of time.
Yeah, okay. We'll give it to him.
He proposed at his bar exam. They were at a dinner. He didn't propose at the exam.
I was going to say that. I was like nodding my head, but then I was thinking, that is the worst idea.
I was halfway through a sentence, and then I realized what you must have been thinking. So they were at a dinner celebration, celebrating the passing of his bar exam.
Yes.
And it was a huge surprise. He proposed there. And in 1992, they got married.
Damn.
So it goes 1 year, and life moves fast in the fast lane. Michelle says, I quote, "Barack didn't pledge riches, only a life that would be interesting. And on that promise, he delivered."
Damn.
Which he did. What an interesting life they would have had.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly. In 1998, they had their first child, Malia Ann Obama. And funnily enough, she was born on the 4th of July, which is American Independence Day,
that's crazy.
Right? And it's just ironic because it's like so patriotic, and he's the next president coming up, you know?
That's crazy.
In 2004, Barack gets elected to the US Senate, and that was pretty much the beginning of, the fame.
Yeah.
In 2008, Barack was elected president. He was the 44th president of the United States of America.
So he moved up the ranks pretty quickly by the sounds of it.
Well, yeah, look, in 4 years, he went from the Senate to the president. So that's... I don't know how politics usually work, but...
I don't know either,
it
but
sounds pretty good to me.
It seems like he moved pretty quickly.
It seems like it. You never know. And just a quote he says about their marriage. He says, "If you were going to list the 100 most popular things that I have done as president, being married to Michelle Obama is number one."
Wow.
Very, very cute. He said that during a State of the Union address in 2010. In 2012, Barack won the re-election. So that was his second term.
Yeah.
And in 2016, they ended their term as the first family. So that's when his presidency ended. But the next year, in 2017, they celebrated 25 years of marriage.
Wow.
So what an eventful life they've had. Also, in 2001, they had their second child, Natasha Obama.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've got 2 kids. I just want to point out a few things that Barack did, apart from being funny. Things he did while in his presidency. He ended the war in Iraq. He ordered for the capture and killing of Osama bin Laden.
Yep.
He supported the LGBT community's fight for marriage equality. He pretty much saved the US auto industry. He dropped the veteran homeless rate by 50%. He boosted fuel efficiency standard for cars. He improved school nutrition with Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act, and Michelle played a big part in that. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009 for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples.
Wow.
And simultaneously, around that time, Michelle really got into her health and well-being for pretty much everyone. In 2010, Michelle launched Let's Move, which brings together community leaders, educators, medical professionals, parents, and others nationwide, pretty much to challenge, childhood obesity and just promote a healthier lifestyle living. And then from there, she started a lot of, school lunch programs, which gives out discounted and healthy foods around schools to students, underprivileged kids, all of that stuff. So really good stuff from that family. And obviously they've had their ups and downs as well. And I think Michelle opens up a bit about it in her biography, or her memoirs, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, look, she says, but seeing it from the outside, they're such a good couple, and they're very open about their relationship. So very admirable people.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. I didn't know how much they'd done and how much influence she actually had as well.
Yeah, exactly. So really hand in hand, she played such a big part.
Yeah. They're literally the definition of a power couple.
Yeah,
aren't
such
they?
a good power couple. Yeah.
Yeah, she's done so much.
Yeah.
And it's really good to hear.
It's inspiring, exactly. Yeah. Well, look, that's my 2, not only 2, but it's some of my very, very admired celebrity couples.
Yeah, 2 of my quite admired, quite admired as well.
Yeah, but basketball related too. Obama loves basketball.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
But once again, thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. And please jump on our Instagram. You can get us there. Drop us some comments. We'll respond to all comments. Love to hear from you guys. Love to have any feedback.
And stay tuned for our future episodes once a week, every Monday morning. So thanks for listening once again to the So Far So Good podcast.
Laters.